Whiskey 5, Golf, Delta, Papa.
Golf, Delta Papa, roger.
Golf, Delta Papa, roger. USL.
Yes, sir. What's the name there?
Yes, sir. What's the name there? The name is Gene in Nashville, Tennessee. Back to you.
Roger, Gene, let me go to my local, and I'll tell you what, why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system. I'll look around and see if I can find us a better path. Roger?
Sure. Antenna system, I'll look around and see if I can find us a better path. Roger? Okay, well, I was going to ask you what the signal report is here. Running about 700 watts, and the transceiver is a Flex 6600 with an Elecraft KPA 1500 power amplifier, and gee, that's about the long and the short of it. So from Nashville and Gene, maybe you have found me at a better receive site. I'm getting you at a solid 9, S9 here. Back to you, Jim, KC9VKV, W5GDP.
Roger, Glenn. I'm copying you on my local antenna. You're about to blow me away. Looks like about 15 dB above my local noise level. So you're doing a real good job. Roger?
Roger, and now you are 10 over 9. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Now, you sound like you might be just a little hot. If you want to, we can run through some parameters and see what we've got there. First thing is to be sure that you're running in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth on that radio, Roger?
Roger, that's what she is.
Okay, then to the compressor processor, on and at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger?
Well, my choices are normal DX or DX Plus, and it's in DX right now.
Yes, sir. I'd move that to normal. There's quite a difference between those. I think normal is, more cleaner, Roger, and it does a good job.
This is normal. Do you like this better? This is normal. Do you like this better?
Yes, the compressor processor in that machine is not, well, gosh, I like you better in the normal. So now let's move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, you become a human test generator and adjust your mic level until your ALC is reading 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
7 or 2/3. Well, gee whiz, I can read the compression level. The compression level on peaks is about 7 dB right now, 7 dB of compression. And you think that's too high, right?
No, I'm not talking about that meter. I'm talking about your ALC meter. You have an ALC meter. That's the important one. That tells you what your modulation index is.
I'm not aware of that.
Do you know where your ALC meter is?
I'm not aware of an ALC meter. Back to you.
Oh, very interesting. Well, how do you set your mic level?
By the level indicator and by the compression.
Is that a level indicator, like a meter or something?
Yeah, like BU. All right. And right now, it is peaking about minus 15. Full scale is 0.
Okay, I guess that's the ALC then. Usually most radios today have an ALC meter where they would adjust their mic level by looking at their ALC meter. I understand your radio is quite different than that. I've never known exactly how to tell one to express to one how to set that. But what does the book say on setting that mic level control?
It says set it the way I have it set. Back to you.
It sounds a little warm. There's some distortion there. Can you drop it about, what's your current mic level setting as far as the knob?
It's a flex. There's no knobs. Okay, but I can back it down on the slider here a bit.
I think that sounded better because it sounded like it might be just cracking just a little bit on the peaks, Roger.
Roger, is this better? Do you like this better?
I don't hear any, breakup on the peaks there. Why don't you bring it up maybe 3 clicks more, a little bit more, and let's see where it goes.
How is this? Is this better, or how do you like this?
I don't hear any distortion, so let's just run it at that. Usually I'm looking at your signal on a VU meter, and I can tell by the way that meter hangs as to what your level is as far as dB intensity. Like it's, we're looking to set up your signal as 3 dB dynamic range, which means your average percent of peak modulation would be 80 to 85%. Thing is, if a person were to put a VU meter onto the output of a PA system that doesn't have any compression or limiting, that would probably be about a 10 dB dynamic range. As one spoke, they would be in a 10 dB dynamic range. But on radio, that is very peaky as far as being able to fatten up and get over the noise as best can. So we have found that a 3 dB dynamic range, which means closing that down through a matter of compression and limiting out of your ALC, will give you that 3 dB at 7 or just to the right of mid-scale on your ALC. Roger?
What up, Roger?
We had some disturbance there.
Roger on that, Roger.
So, it sounded pretty good. Why don't you tell me about the thing you like best about your radio, and let me listen to your audio for just a moment.
What I like best about the radio? Well, I like the pan adapter. I like being able to see who's where, with an experience, you can tell somebody who might be calling CQ by the length of their transmission as it falls down the waterfall. I like that. I like to be able to see what kind of bandwidth people are using and see how their audio is balanced. A fair number of them are not balanced at all. They're all on the low end and aren't putting much energy in the area where the intelligibility would lie. In the maybe 2 kilohertz range, they're muffled sounding. But you find some that are well balanced. They're using all the spectrum, and you can hear them loud and clear. So is this enough for you? Back to you.
Yes, sir. Now, on your EQ page, what kind of equalizer do you have? Is it an 8-band, a 12-band, 3-band, 2-band, or what?
It's 8-band.
Okay, in that 8-band, is that a third octave equalizer, 1kC, 2kC, 4kC, 8kC, like that?
Yes.
Okay, so down at the bottom there, around 62 hertz or so, we usually suggest a full roll-off on that, Roger?
Roger.
And then at 220 or whatever it is, we go flat, plus or minus 0, 500 flat, and then from 500 on up to about 1.4, 1.5, all of that should be flat because the whole idea behind an equalizer is to strike a balance between the treble and the mid-range and the bass and the mid-range. And if you push the mid-range, it's so much harder for the treble and bass to catch up. So we suggest everything from 400 cycles to 1.5 to be flat, and then 2kC would be like a 4 plus 4. And do you have a way to shape it? Do you have a shape capability of that equalization?
Well, I mean, you have the controls for each of those peaking frequencies, and then you have the limit. So that's what you got.
Yes, so some have the ability to broaden the peak of the EQ pattern and reduce the sharpness of it and spread it out just a little more bluntly than just a very sharp peak. But anyway, around 2kc would be like +3, and 4kc would be +6 or 7. Roger.
Okay, I hear you. That's not what I'm doing.
Yes, sir. Well, what I'm doing is trying to find out where that distortion's coming from. And sometimes if you really push the mids, you can get that kind of peaky raspiness. But I think it's associated with the peak. And if you've got a scope, you can look at that and see what it says. It's about... I don't know, I would just guess, but like about 5%, 3%, somewhere. It's not major, but it's there on the peaks, Roger.
Roger.
And I think, by and large, though, we get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down there. And again, about that EQ, the thing is, even a bad mic, we give it a benefit of a doubt between being able to be flat between the range of 400 cycles up to 1.5. So that's why we suggest everything flat in that range so you don't have hills and valleys. And then we start torquing there to get the top end up for intelligibility. And in your case, what we have left is the 2kc and 4kc to be relevant in the equalization range that we have to work with on the treble side. Roger?
Roger.
So other than that, Glenn, 73, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll have this uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. You go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and we'll have this thing uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog air check recordings. Roger?
Roger. Thank you. It's been great talking with you and working with you, Jim. And so KC9VKV, W5GDP, I'll be standing by or listening. I'll be listening back to you guys.
Roger, sir. 73. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And again, if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.